Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, a car near Walnut Street goes up in flames.
Some helpful tips on how to follow polling rules.
And as we near the Thanksgiving season, there's one thing you don't want to be missing from the table.
All that plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Jeremy Lynch. Thank you for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Isabel Flores. Let's get to our top story today.
A car engulfed in fire on the corner of East Adams and Walnut yesterday.
Our Mornings on
Good morning, guys. Yesterday, students were going to class, minding their own business right here behind me as they saw a car catch fire on Walnut. Yesterday, the Syracuse Police 911 Center got a call at 2:56 in the afternoon about this car, and then there was a quick turnaround. As you can see here, the car was fully engulfed in flames, as part of the street was also closed off. The car was spotted on Walnut, but actually the car was on East Adams Street. Both DPS and Syracuse Fire Department responded, and from what we know right now, there were no injuries, and luckily there was no one inside the car. The scene was clear by 3:30 in the afternoon. According to the National Protection Fire Agency, the most common causes of car fires are mechanical failures and electrical malfunctions. Also, car accidents and collisions are another major cause. Lastly, older vehicles that do not have the proper maintenance on them. Now, as we come back here live, there is no word right now on how this fire started and whether or not there was anyone inside. From Walnut tonight, Zach Richter for Mornings on the Hill.
Election Day is 6 days away, and as you prepare to go to the polls, you should know what you can and can't bring with you.
Mornings on the Hill executive producer Caitlin Parisi tells us how to prepare.
It's an exciting time for Syracuse residents like Michael Gross, with Election Day around the corner.
It's our right, but it's also, as young Americans, as young individuals, we have the power to change change the country for the years to come.
He joins everyone else in the county as voters get ready to cast their ballots. If you're a first-time voter, the Democratic Elections Commissioner says you need to prove who you say you are.
There's several things that act as ID. Of course, your driver's license acts as ID. Your lease, a utility bill with your name on and address on it, acts as ID.
First-time voters need to show proof of ID, but is that true for everyone who goes to the polls?
If you voted before in New York, all we need is your signature. We will compare it to your signature from that's on file.
One thing election officials say is not allowed: wearing apparel with the name of a current candidate on the ballot.
So if you wore a Trump shirt, and you could do that. He's not on the ballot this year, or Biden. But if you were to say bring in a Francis Knoll shirt or a Brandon Williams sticker, you'd be asked to cover that up before being allowed to vote.
Isabel, this is not typical November weather here in Syracuse.
It definitely is not. I mean, I'm from Florida, so I'm definitely not used to the cold already, but I've heard that it's already been really too hot for what we usually really do have here in Syracuse. However, Sammy St. Jean has more on just what Syracuse has in store for us today. Sammy?
Well, folks, is it hot? Is it cold? Who really knows lately here in Syracuse? You've got weather from the north and weather from the south duking it out here in central New York. It feels like 53 today, but it's going to get close to 60, and later this week, it actually might get up to 70 degrees in November in Syracuse. Who would believe it? But I'll have more for you on weather update a little bit later in the show. Sammy St. Jean, live here in Syracuse.
Thanks, Sammy. Tenants in the Great Northern Mall in the town of Clay may not have to leave in 3 weeks after all. On Friday, the mall's owner told businesses they had until the 20th to leave, but developer Guy Hart, who signed a contract to buy the mall, bought them some time. Hart and the current owner agreed on a more flexible date.
Hart is planning on transforming the mall into a lifestyle center with luxury apartments as well as stores and restaurants. he doesn't expect the deal to close until this December.
You may need a backup plan for your Thanksgiving turkey this year. Michael Villegas joins us live in studio with more. Michael?
November, that means Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but the sample dish may be harder to find and more expensive this year.
We all know the routine of going grocery shopping. We make our list, we go to the store, grab our cart, go up and down the aisles checking off needed items one at a time. But as we head into November and closer to Thanksgiving, some of that planning may need to be moved up for the centerpiece dish. Due to inflation, avian flu, and supply chain issues this year, turkeys are in short supply and are becoming scarce on grocery store shelves. This has caused some shoppers, like Stanley Harrison, to think ahead.
I'm sure we'll try to order one earlier because we try to get a fresh turkey. So as soon as we get back to Milwaukee, which will be next week, we'll be going to the grocery store. Local grocery store has really good fresh turkeys, but I'm sure we'll have to get the order in.
As Stanley plans, he also points out another concern.
There's going to be a shortage. They'll probably be more expensive. I could do with the turkey sandwich, but I'm sure that was not what's going to happen.
With some Wegman shoppers getting their turkeys early, others aren't changing their Thanksgiving plans.
Closer to Thanksgiving. And sometimes, usually fresh, but sometimes frozen.
Fresh or frozen may be the decision, but we asked the Morses if not having turkey for Thanksgiving was on the table.
No.
No, we have to have turkey.
As the staple dish of Thanksgiving is a question mark this year, Stanley has another favorite dish that he's looking forward to.
Well, one of the traditional ones is creamed onions. We also call them belly bombs, but because of the effect that they have on you.
Hopefully, that's the only effect customers feel this Thanksgiving.
For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Michael Villegas.
Thanks, Michael. And now to a nationwide veterinarian shortage that is affecting local animal hospitals in central New York.
Our Elena Lucido tells us how the pandemic was a big factor in the shortage. Elena?
If you've been experiencing difficulties getting your pets into the veterinarian, you're not the only one. This cause of this, a shortage of veterinarians across the country, especially in local animal hospitals. Animal hospitals across America are struggling with a shortage of veterinarians. For a local veterinary hospital like VCA's Fairmount Animal Hospital, this shortage has affected business. Hospital manager Sean Orcutt says this is a local problem and caused them to shut down their after-hour urgent care business.
It's really a struggle right now, particularly in the central New York area. If you go to some of the larger metropolitan areas, there's more resources. There also is a shortage of veterinary technicians. And the technician role is an extremely important process of the hospital, of having a successful hospital. Basically, they're the registered nurses of the animal world.
Veterinarian Dr. Daisy Friedman says there was a large increase in pet adoption once the pandemic hit. She says the same number of vets are graduating from vet school, but there are not enough to accommodate the growing number of pets.
I think that there's a statistic out there that says that approximately 1,500 to 2,000 animals are under the responsibility of one veterinarian. So it's a big responsibility for us, for sure. When I graduated, it was very easy for me to get a job, most likely because of this shortage. We want to do the best we can to see as many pets as possible, but because there is a shortage and because there's so much need, sometimes what that means is it's harder to get an appointment, harder to be seen.
This hospital has started reaching out and recruiting people earlier in their careers to hopefully plant the seed and hire them once they graduate vet school. Dr. Friedman says scheduling your pet's wellness exams 6 months in advance can be the best way of getting your furry friend in. But that's not your only dose for animals today. Stay tuned at the end of our show. Our Sydney Staples will be showing you our Moth Crew's adorable four-legged family members. Isabel, Jeremy, back to you.
Elena, thank you. Now, right on campus, University Union is bringing us iCarly star Jeanette McCurdy. She'll be talking next Saturday, November 12th in Shine at 8 in the evening. The performance is completely free of charge, but you do need to get tickets on the Student Box Office website. And for the first time since the beginning of the pandemic, it'll be open to everyone in the Syracuse and ESF campuses, as well as the surrounding community.
Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, how salons in Syracuse are expected to be impacted by inflation.
And your full weather forecast for this week. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. Time to check your weather for today.
Sammy St. Jean is in studio with a look at your full weather forecast. Sammy?
Hi guys. So today it's going to be 59, high of 59, low of 44. It fits right into the average of about 53. Low average of 39, which is a little low, and I'm glad we don't have that today. Record high of 76, not quite the tropical weather that I'm wearing, but we're pretty close there. 59, getting close to 60 today, and a record low of 17 for, thank goodness, we do not have that today. Now moving on to the hourly forecast, looking forward to today. It is going to start out kind of around that 50-degree mark, move up towards 60, dip back down into the at night around 50, 47, 46, and then back up to almost 70 degrees tomorrow, which should be a pleasant treat and something I'm looking forward to. Around the central New York area, Syracuse 53, Buffalo 52, a low in Glens Falls 38, and again, I am very glad we do not have that here. 47 in Watertown, 49 in Fulton, and then moving on here to your day planner. In the morning, 48, 57, 55, and no real concerns about rain today. And then the night, 49. Maybe crack the windows if you like to sleep when it's cold outside. And then finally, for your 5-day forecast, it's going to be a pretty nice week. Sunday is going to cap things off with a little bit of rain, but overall getting to 60, 66, and then 71 on Saturday for a little football weather. But for your Mornings on the Hill weather, I'm Sammy St. Jean. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sammy. Inflation and supply chain issues are impacting many local businesses. Maddie Muschin joins us live in the studio to tell us how local hair salons are adjusting.
Hair salons in Syracuse have been challenged with the increase in prices for their products for a while now. That, along with the additional shortages in supplies, has made business difficult. Element on Water Salon has found a way to stay in business while still putting their customers first. A Friday in the salon can't happen without gloves, foil, or color. Owner of Element on Water Salon, Jacqueline Grabowski, says that inflation has impacted the little things.
Well, we definitely have seen an increase in all of our products, from gloves to foils and all of the things that we need behind the scenes.
Stylist Kimberly Herrera says supply chain shortages has also made it difficult to get their regular items.
I mean, we still use great products. We still try to work with great products. We had a different color line, but we find similar items, just not the item we're looking for.
Although the price of some products has increased and some products may be out of stock due to the supply chain shortages, they're making adjustments so that they can keep their customers coming back.
We've kind of itemized our things as somebody wants additional colors or additional needs more color. We've added on more of the a la carte additional prices for each tube that we're using, just kind of more based on looks, not just the service.
Amidst challenges, Element on Water is continuing to stock the shelves and fill their chairs. With adaptation and perseverance, they're hoping to stay afloat and keep customers coming in. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Maddie Muschin.
Thanks, Maddie. Happening tonight, the start of Syracuse University's celebration of Native American Heritage Month. A panel discussion takes place tonight at 7 at the Hall of Languages. An opening social dance takes place Friday.
Those are among the kickoff activities of a month's worth of events, all to honor our Native American students. You can get complete details of the month's activities on campus by going to experience.syracuse.edu. We have yet to experience the bitter cold, but as we all know, winter is just right around the corner.
With this in mind, the university is holding its second annual Operation Warm-Up. It's a drive for winter coats, and you can donate a new or gently used coat outside the JMA Dome before the Florida State SU football game on November 12th. Drop-off bins will also be located at Hendricks Chapel.
Coming up after the break, your Syracuse men's basketball team finished the preseason perfect. And does the College Football Playoff Committee respect the Orange's resume? I'll have that and more. Don't go anywhere. Good morning. I'm Micah Prime Goldstein with your Orange Sports Update here on Mornings on the Hill. The Orange men's basketball team improved to 2-0 in their final preseason game last night by beating Southern New Hampshire 72-58. The Orange led the game from start to finish, looking more cohesive than in their opener. In the contest, seniors Joe Girard and Jesse Edwards led the Orange as the two players scoring in double figures. Girard finished the game with a team-high 15 points and was a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Edwards, still adjusting to a more involved role this season, recorded 13 points and pulled down 7 boards. The game was not perfect, however, as freshman guard Judah Mintz is still finding ways to struggle as well as a playmaker. Mintz scored 4 early points but was then held scoreless for the rest of the night as he is still acclimating to the college game. Fellow youngsters Kadir Copeland and Munir Hima contributed as an effective pick-and-roll duo off the bench. Samir Torrance and Benny Williams each played solid minutes from a plus-minus standpoint but struggled to create their own shot. If this team is going to have any chance to compete, they will need the young cast to produce. This season will be head coach Jim Boeheim's last with the program, and he says he wants to make it count. The Orange will open up their regular season Monday when they host Lehigh. Tip-off is at 8 and can be streamed on the ACC Network and ESPN+. Our sports reporter Jayla Pettis joins us now in studio to talk about SU's recognition from the College Football Playoff Committee and why fans should be hopeful as road underdogs against Pittsburgh. Jayla?
The Orange shouldn't go into this weekend feeling defeated because they are the underdogs against Pittsburgh. Orange football is currently 6-2 and number 3 in the ACC Atlantic. Syracuse had their first at-home loss against the Fighting Irish this past weekend. Quarterback Garrett Schrader suffered a lower leg injury during the first half of the game and didn't return after leaving the field. Florida transfer and backup redshirt quarterback Carlos Del Rio Wilson stepped in for the Orange and completed 11 of 22 pass attempts for 190 yards plus 1 touchdown. Will Garrett Schrader play this weekend? His status is still unknown. Head coach Dino Babers says when Schrader is healthy, he'll play. Monday, Babers announced that defensive back Garrett Williams is out for the season with a torn ACL. With that being said, due to Saturday's loss, Syracuse is now ranked number 22 in the AP poll and 20 in the college football playoff rankings that were released last night. This Saturday, the Orange will travel on the road to face Pittsburgh at 3:30. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Jayla Pettis. Jeremy and Isabel, back to you.
We have a special furry friend surprise.
And is it time to start playing Christmas music? We'll have that answer after the break. Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. While I don't own any pets, I know the rest of our Moth crew does.
Unfortunately, I don't either, Jeremy, but Sydney Stiples joins us live in studio to talk more about our furry friends.
As much as I like to be on camera, I'd rather look at some of our pets. Starting off with Professor Koblen's 2 beautiful pets, not to mention executive producer Caitlin Parisi's 2 pets, a cat and a dog of her own. Jayla Pettis with her sweet dog Coco, on top of Maddie Mushchin, her grandparents' dog and her own dog Bunker. Mike, on the other hand, has a dog of his own, and Michael Valakis has 2 too. My favorite, Zeus, especially with this kind of picture. Then we're heading into my dogs. You see my Maltipoo named Rain, one of my brother Labradoodles, Boomy, Zuko, pretty cool dog if you ask me, and my personal favorite and spirit animal, Nike. But don't forget about Blue, the first dog I ever got to own. Now with Elena Lucido, she has plenty of animals of her own. 4 dogs, 2 cats. That's 1 goat, but there's plenty more where that came from. We also have, not to mention this cat, his name's Zeke, just like the Cowboys if you're looking at that. And then we even have turtles, a tortoise, she has koi fish, geese, even a rooster. Then finishing it out, Sammy St. Jean with the 2 dogs of his own, and my personal favorite photo of the entire slideshow, Tonka.
Now it's only November, but at Starbucks, it's time to get into the holiday spirit. Starbucks unveiled their new holiday cups for the season, which we'll start getting on Thursday. There's one of 4 festive cup designs you could get.
That's also when Starbucks will start serving its infamous holiday menu. No new drinks this year, but they'll have new chocolate pistachio swirl roll.
'Tis the season where Christmas music is in the air.
Today, the Moth crew was asked about their favorite Christmas song and if celebrating the holiday is too early. Of course, time for Christmas. I've been listening to Christmas music since the beginning of October. What do you mean?
It is time for Christmas, but we also have to remember that Thanksgiving comes first, so we need to celebrate that, and then Christmas after.
Not yet. Day of the Dead ends today, so maybe give it like a week.
It is definitely time for Christmas because here's the main reason why. Christmas gives us a good feeling. We need a good feeling. In life these days, there's nothing wrong with something that gives us joy, and Christmas is something that gives us joy.
My favorite Christmas song, I'm gonna go with Wham's Last Christmas.
I don't know. It's gotta be Rudolph. It's gotta be Rudolph. The nostalgia.
Every one of them. Give me Justin Bieber, give me Michael Bublé, give me Mariah Carey. I don't have one. I love them all.
Probably Mistletoe right now by Justin Bieber.
I think it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Christmas Eve by the Trans-Siberia Orchestra.
Probably All I Want for Christmas.
Anything Michael Bublé sings. Let's see, he had It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas and
Finally, this morning, you could feel the stress in the newsroom.
Today is class registration day, and that meant our MOTH team had to take care of business after finalizing our show for air. There was tension in the air as the countdown clock wound down to 10, which is when registration opened. This is a stressful time for class schedules, and sleeping schedules are determined by this, not to mention getting classes we really wanted to take. We're happy to report that despite the stress, our MOTH team was able to get the classes they wanted for next semester.
Well, Jeremy, I'm so excited we got to see all those pets today. Thank you to Sydney Staples for putting that together for us.
Yeah, they're adorable, like the pugs, the cats. Oh, I love them all. Well, that's going to do it for us this Wednesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Jeremy Lynch. Follow us on social media.
I'm Isabel Flores. Thanks for watching Orange Nation. We'll see you next Wednesday live at 10 a.m. right here on OTN.